Hey everybody. We've been really busy around our little homestead today. We've been catching up on a lot of projects that have been on our running list for a while. My husband's home today, so we were able to get some of those done. And then we had a ball game in the middle of the day, so we had to stop, go to that, watch our son play, which is always fun, and then come back. We took a little bit of a break because we were pretty tired after that, but then we got right back out and got some more projects completed. So I just kind of want to show you what we have been doing today, maybe inspire you to pull the trigger on some of the projects that you've been planning but just haven't started yet. So first we have our chicken coop. When we bought this, it was just this small piece here. It didn't have the run attached to it, so it just had the 3 nest boxes at the top and the small little enclosed run there. I added an 8-foot run. It's not the most well built, and the last time that we moved it, it's actually come apart at the bottom, so that's another project that I have to finish this weekend. But it gave them some more space, and then as we kind of watch the grass, the ground that they're on, and as it starts to look a little bit more like that, we move them down a little bit. It's usually once a week we move them, so that's why this has come apart. Anyway, they started up there and we've worked our way down, so here we are. I decided that the 3 nesting boxes that are in here aren't enough for my 7 hens. I really want to add some extra boxes out here, but that's not in our budget right now. So I had these little crates that I'd purchased for homeschooling, and I'm not using them anymore. They were in my attic actually to either donate or to put in the yard sale, and I decided that I'd give those a try for nest boxes to give them some extra space. So we have the crates in there with some straw, so we'll see if they like those and use those. And we added this PVC watering system because my chickens drink a lot of water and they always run out of the little water that I have in there. So we added this. So what we'll do is we'll fill this 5-gallon bucket with water. We have it connected with wire up here, and the water will be gravity fed through this tube, the PVC pipe that's tied on with some string there. And I'm going to try to let you see on the other side we have, oh there we go, the watering nipples. They're attached, and I'll have another video showing you how to make this if you're interested in doing that for yourself. So those are 2 projects that we completed today, and we're going to walk on around and I'll show you. Ridley's hanging out with us today. Say hi. Another project that I've been working on is melting beeswax in my sun oven. So we have some honeycomb that was left over from our last honey extraction. There's no honey left in it. We're just melting down the comb to have beeswax to make things out of. And obviously it's not hot right now because I don't have it turned the right way and the sun's not on it. But it's been melting for a little while, and that's working out pretty well. Not sure how well how well you can see from here, but we've got 3 of our ducks on the other side of the pond. We raised these from ducklings, and when they got big enough we turned them out onto the pond, and they're doing really well out there. And we had a couple of Canadian geese back here. We live off the Mississippi River, and we have, and Reelfoot Lake too, if you know where that is, and we have a lot of wildlife that comes through here, and we get Canadian geese and cranes that come through every day. And then, so we walk on down a little bit, we'll see our beehives. They were located on that side of our shop, but we're turning that into something else. It's another project. But my husband moved these hives a couple days ago. He got stung a few times in the process. The bee suit wasn't zipped all the way and he didn't realize it. So always be careful when you're dealing with the bees. But we got those moved and they're doing well over here. Then up here, So it's kind of out of commission right now, but we'll talk a little bit about it. The kids really wanted a swimming pool, but between the children and our dogs, we knew that an inflatable pool would get popped, and we didn't want to deal with that. And we also didn't want to spend the money for it. So we took some old straw bales that we weren't using, and we put them around in this rectangle, and we added a tarp over it and staked the tarp down, and we filled it with water, and the kids love it. Right now we have it drained because the water had gotten dirty, but we'll just move this bale back over here to close up that rectangle, and we'll stake the tarp back down and fill it back up. These little guys here are the new New Zealand rabbits that we have added. They're going to be our breeding pair. They'll be old enough to breed in August. During the day, we let them come out here instead of being cooped up in the shop all day. And they get to hop around and eat the grass. We just make sure that they are in the shade because they're nocturnal animals and they're not so fond of the sunlight. While we're talking about the rabbits, my husband actually built this frame for the cages, so at night or when we're gone, we put them up here. We have these little side pieces and back pieces put on so the cages don't slide off. I mean, it works out really well. This fits 2 cages, 2 30 by 30 cages perfectly, and we've just added this little composting system. We were going to put some totes directly underneath, but with the size of this, it didn't work out. We couldn't find the right size totes. So we added a board right there and a board over on this side. And we took some old roofing plastic, cut it to size, and we have it on, I don't know if you can see the slope, we have it on a little slope. That way when the rabbits use the bathroom, it will fall through the cage and land on the roofing tin and slide down into this bucket. And then whatever gets stuck on there and doesn't slide, we can just kind of brush down. And this tin is removable. So all we have to do is pull that out and wash it off to clean it. And we can bleach it if we need to. And eventually we're going to add worms down here. We'll put some peat moss in with the rabbit poop, and we'll add some worms in there, and we'll have vermicompost, and we'll have some good worms for fishing. And this is my little bitty garden. Just planted some transplants this year. I didn't start anything from seed. But I have tomato plants and basil over here. There's some oregano, marigolds for some pest control, and peppers, chamomile, and pickling cucumbers there that will go up the trellis. And then I have this old water trough, and it had some rusted holes in the bottom, so it's drained really well. But I added some soil in here, and we've got onions and potatoes planted. So here's the mud kitchen. This pallet was actually already sitting in this exact spot, so I didn't even move it. I just found this board, cut it to size, and then we had these little boards. There were actually 2 of those boards, and we cut them in half to make 4. And then we just set them on top of the inner board on the post, or on the pallet, screwed them down, and then we screwed them down, screwed the top board down to that. And we had some Melissa and Doug pots and pans, and a galvanized little bucket. And she had a blast out here today, as you can tell. We put water in this bucket, and we gave her some soil to play with. And she made mud cakes, mud pies all afternoon. So this pen that my husband's putting up right now, these panels used to be a round pen that we had on the other side of the house, but we decided that we could use them better over here. So he took them apart and moved them down here, and he's setting them up with T-post right now. And this will primarily be our buck pen for our male goat when we don't want him breeding the does. But the plan for it right now is we're going to get this set up and we're going to turn the goats out in here after we put some cattle panels on the other side. We don't want them coming through the bottom here. But we'll turn them out to eat down some of the shrubs and things that are growing in here. And we can use this area to ride horses some when the goats aren't in here, just like we did when it was the round pen. And on this side of the shop right there, we plan to build somewhat of a pole barn to store things and for an extra shelter for the horses and the goats. We have our apple tree growing here. We planted this last year. It looks like it's doing pretty well. We probably need to stake that, but otherwise it's doing well. And we mulched half of our garden bed today. One truckload did half of the garden, and the other side over there we'll have to do Monday because the company that we buy the mulch from is already closed. Okay, and then, excuse our messy porch, but we planted some things up on the porch, some herbs and things like that. So we've got lavender here, got succulents because I think they're pretty, and some aloe vera. And whew, sun. Up here, trying to get where you can see it, we have lemon balm. And on this side, we have chocolate mint, sweet mint, and some zinnias. So I'm sure you've noticed, but we've had a pretty long, pretty busy day here with all of these projects and a sleepy little baby. So we're gonna relax in the hammock now and enjoy the rest of our day. I hope that you enjoy your day and the rest of your weekend. It's Mother's Day weekend, so so enjoy time with your mom, with your kids, and if you have any questions about projects or any comments or any ideas of other things that we could add to our homestead, then leave them in the comments and we'll talk. And I hope you enjoy your day, your weekend, and give me a shout.